It's a sad, sad day for Celtic Football Club and the Celtic family throughout the world. Tributes have already been coming in from around the world, and it's showing the great esteem and love and respect that Celtic and non-Celtic people have had for Jimmy Johnstone. I think the first thing we'd like to do is pass on our condolences to Agnes and the family. They've been absolutely astonishing in terms of how they've supported and nursed Jimmy through this horrible illness. Our sincere thoughts and condolences from everyone at the club go to them. Millions of words and millions of have been spoken and actually written about Jimmy Johnstone, so what more can you say? He was voted the greatest ever Celt by the fans, which meant so much to him. And indeed, no matter how many magnificent and great players we had at the club, I don't think anybody would challenge that Jimmy Johnstone was the greatest. He lived the dream. He was raised in View Park, just down the road, Celtic supporter for as long as he knew. And he lived the dream. He actually came here and he played so magnificently. I'm sure we all have our memories of Jimmy. He gave us fantastic memories, both on and off the pitch. He lived life to the full. And he, for our club, took us to a different level. One of the Lisbon Lions, one of the gang, the brothers, and I think we've all feel we've either lost a brother or a son. Quite simply, he was the greatest. Thanks very much.
He had some attributes that weren't fully appreciated. He was one of the fastest footballers, the fastest wingers I've ever seen. I saw him deliberately give a Hibs fullback 5 yards on a start over 20 yards and he beat him to the ball.
He was a great ambassador for us Ginners, small Ginners.
He gave me the nickname of Dilbeth, which is a cemetery just behind the training ground at Barrowfield, because he said when we were shooting, most of them ended up in there anyway.
I remember watching the European Cup final from a little black and white TV set in a boarding school at the time, and for me to get to know Jimmy Johnstone in some sort of small way was a big privilege for me. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I couldn't really sum up the man. I couldn't do him justice, but just to say that I was privileged to know him for the length of time that I did.
My abiding memory is every time he was fouled, he always wanted the ball immediately, which showed great courage, really. Particularly it was a diminutive little lad, you know, he was only 5'5" or something, and it was that an incredible courage that marked him out as a special person and a player.
I can remember coming in as a 15-year-old here and just starting the ground staff, and Jimmy probably just about to speak at that time, and it was an amazing feeling to walk through the door, amazing experience, and you know, clean the boots of guys like Jimmy Johnstone, Billy McNeil, John Clark, Bobby Lennox, all these guys. But Jimmy was, he was the Wayne Rooney or the George Best of his days, no doubt about that.
I remember him for his real cheeky, being on the field and off the field, being a nightmare as a teammate at hotels. I've got so much to tell, I won't tell you anymore. I just remember him as a great guy and a great, great, great football player.
John Clark would pick us up in the morning, pick me up, and then I would go and get Jimmy out of his bed to go into training and that. Then I always remember after matches we go to a place in Orange called the Redstones, and it was always warned, don't be staying too long, but unfortunately we would win the game, and then we go then, and there was myself, Jimmy, George Conley, Bobby Murdoch had moved out Bothwell, John Hughes and that, so it was quite a team, and we all had to buy a drink for one another, and one led to two, led to three. And
he put colour on a damp game, on a grey game. Him and other people, Jim Baxter's and Willie Henderson's and Bobby Murdoch's, put colour. I came to the park, obviously, after the European Cup final, and that performance, I think, put colour into football. And with Jimmy, obviously, with his red hair and his great tenacity to overcome bad defenders who just came out to kick him and stop him. Great courage and great sense of humour.
Well, funnily enough, it wouldn't be football, and he had a lot of great magical moments, but it was just his smile and his enthusiasm, and every time he walked in a room he just lit the place up. That's what I'll remember about Jimmy Johnstone.
when you think of Jimmy, you know, there's a smile comes straight on your face, you know, and I'm sure supporters, not just in Scotland, all over the world, will have their own special memories of him. And you know, just a great man and a great player. And it was great to see him coming in the dressing room every now and again with Clarkie and Bertie Auld, and the banter between them was fantastic. So it's such a poignant day for the club, and you know, it'll be a sad week now.
And the greatest ever Celtic player, the wonderful, magical Jimmy Johnstone.
I'm delighted. Not myself, but for everybody that, you know, I've been in contact with all through the years, down through, especially the team that did, I think, well, to me it was possibly the greatest Celtic side ever, the Lisbon Lions. But no, just to even be part of something like this, it's absolutely brilliant. Thanks.
The greatest ever player, Jimmy Johnstone.